Greetings, this is Vane and welcome back to Let's Play Planescape Torment. Okay.
Alright.
Greetings, miss, calm down. Okay, done you already.
I'm gone. I'm gone.
Fighting Hive Dweller. Never seen one of you yet. You see a man in tattered clothing. As you approach him, he suddenly stops and begins to look around. Greetings. Calm yourself. I'm not here to rob your heads of questions. Nothing. Farewell. Fair enough, give him a copper piece. Didn't do anything, so I'm not complaining. Okay. It says this is Braskin's Kip. Okay, collect. Quite useful.
Done.
Bronze bracelet. Yeah, that's what's this one? It's not even done, but we can go in there. Might add a note. It's a dwelling of some kind.
Oh, just a peek there. I think so.
Where were we? Oh yeah, that's the choir of happening. I want to talk to you. Streams of tears have carved channels down this man's dust-coloured face. He looks to be a monk or a holy man of some sort, but the dirt covering his body makes it nearly impossible to see the man beneath. He's chanting and rolling his head back and forth. It looks like some sort of ritual. Greetings. The man stops his frenzied chanting and glares at you with his tear-rimmed eyes. He opens his parched mouth to speak, but all he can manage is a weird croak. What's wrong? Why are you crying? His voice is so hoarse that it sounds like he has been without water for days. As you watch, a tear trickles down his face. I am a choir of Ezanon. Ezanon? Who's that?
Updated my journal.
Who is Ezanon? The man throws back his head and gives a rasping laugh. It sounds brutal and defeated. Ezanos, it is not a man, but a city. Why do you cry for city? I cry its name because Ezanon must not be forgotten. All the choirs of Ezanon carry its burden. You mourn a city. Why do you do such a thing? Because the name is all that remains, its avenues of light, its great sprawling parks. When it was laid waste and reduced to memory, only 70 of its people survived. It is our duty to see that the name is remembered across the plains. Many choirs of Anon have died for the sake of remembering. Many. If it places you and others at risk, why don't you stop? The tears I shed, the dust that cloaks me, these things are nothing compared to what awaits should I give up my sacred burden. I must see that his name is remembered. We are living memorials to his passage. If that's so, then what happens when you all die? A fresh tear springs in the choir's eye. Even now, his dust-caked face cannot disguise his look of despair. I do not know. The cries of Eshanon cannot mourn it forever. Even now, the dust clings to our road. Spit dries in our mouths. Our bodies wither and die. Is there any way I could help you? You are kind to ask. The choir shakes his head. Unless you can immortalize Eshanon, there is no help to be had. Does it have to be you that cries Eshanon's name? Does it matter? Another man might cry the name, but then he too would die. A tear slowly forms in the corner of his eye, and it begins to trickle down his cheek. There is nothing to be done. When the cries of Eshanon die, so dies Eshanon. What about a tombstone? The Trier blinks. Tombstone? It's a stone that records a man's name, his life, and eulogy. It serves a man. Could it also not also serve a city that has died? Stones may do such things? Yes, and their lifetime is much longer than a man. Its name was carved on stone. Would Eshanon's memory be served? The man pauses. Would others see this name? Yes, it would be there for all to see long after you have died. The man nods. If such a thing were possible, he turns to you. Where would one find such a stone? I would go look for one. If I find one, I could see to it that Eshanon's name is carved upon it. You would do this? The man's eyes water up again. You would be setting all the cries of Eshanon free, but a score of us remain. Remember, the burden of remembering would be over after so many years. I would do so. I will return when the name is carved.
Updated my journal.
Okay.
How are you?
Done.
So another hive dwelling. Reader. This foul-looking man is quick to notice has caught your attention. In moments he's upon you, hawking his wares. He carries a large wooden pole. Dozens of skinned and cooked rats dangle from it. As he speaks, he gestures to them with a broad, filth-encrusted hand, smiling a yellow snaggletooth grin all the while. Alright, Car, how are you doing now? What sort of delicious ratsies is you interested in this fine day? None today. I did have a question for you, though. He shoulders his patwell casually. What's the question, Car? Who are you? Why, what, me? Why, I'm Creedon, sometimes called Creed, the butcherer of rats. He smiles grandiosely, exposing ill-matched rows of yellow, broken and crooked teeth. You certainly seem friendlier than most around here. I try. Well, Cutter, I try. Result of my business, I think. Most folks around here are a peering and downright unfriendly lot. But I want every cutter to know that Creedon's always got a warm smile and a piping hot, fresh cooked ratsy form. He winks at you. I had some other questions. I wanted to speak to you about rats. He guffaws loudly. His breath is stale and reeks of onions. Bit of an expert in that fold I hand. What's your question, Carl? Where do you get all those rats? What, these? He jabbers a pole, causing the skinned rats to bounce about in a macabre little jig. I catch them myself, I do, in cellars and alleys about the hive. I see, tell me about this hive. My very own home and place of business. What were you looking to find out, Cutter? Do you know why it's called the hive? The rat catcher stretches his chin, his fingers leaving oily smudges behind. A number of stories about that there are. As I understand it, there's a cluster of buildings somewhere, a tangled mess of shacks and ruins. It serves as a gathering ground of sorts. It was called the Hive, and so that's where these slums, this whole ward, takes a name from. A gathering ground? For who? Man's friendly demeanour stirs him. Troublemakers, Cutter. If you could find the place, I'd recommend you to stay away from there, I would. That's all I got to say about it. He wipes his nose with a sense of finality, and scowl is now gone. I understand what's of interest around here. I'm not sure what you'd be interested in, Cutter. Let me know and maybe Hulkling can point you in the right direction. I'm looking for a good time. Yeah, Chief, that's the spirit. A couple of less dangerous places to get bubbed up. Gathering Dust Bar and the Smouldering Corpse. Couldn't really recommend anywhere else to you, Cutter. Could you show me where these places are? Sure, Cutter. The Gathering Dust Bar is across from the Mortuary and the Smouldering Corpse is east of here. Thanks, you had something about somewhere being dangerous? Thinks for a moment before giving his answer. Well, Cutter, you see, things aren't so good here. Life is hard. It's a desperate place full of desperate people. I'll just say that some folk do whatever it takes to get by their will without much regard to the birds around them. Easy to get lost in the ivy is. Lost? Dead, Chief. Dead. You seem friendly enough though, Ratcatcher. I have some more questions. I want to speak to you about the rats. Where are the best places to catch rats? That's not an easy answer. Easy to answer as it once was, Cutter. You see, the buggers have been getting scarce these days. I used to trap them easy in the darker streets and cellars, but now they have hunted them a tad too much. You might want to try Ragpicker Square. All them trash piles make a good place for rats to run around. Where is this Ragpicker Square? I'll show you, Cutter. Just hand me your map. It points it out for you, leaving a huge greasy fingerprint in the process. Thanks. You mentioned collectors? Don't think he did, but... Aye, the Burke can gather corpses and haul them to the mortuary for the dustman. Pay him... Mortuary, the dustman pay him a copper for a deader, I believe. Collectors do this for a living, usually looting the newly dead as well as selling their corpses. I hear, he lowers his voice and scans the surroundings, that some of them help a bird get lost, if you know what I mean. Wicked folk they are. Or is that you say about people paying for dead rats? That's right, Cutter. There's a Burke in the office of vermin and disease control, named Lord. He pays a bounty on copper a head, a towel, it is, but they've got to be brain vermin, not just ordinary rats. Brain vermin? I can't say brain vermin. Foul creatures they are. Now your normal rats, they just eat stored goods and multiply, spread disease and all that. A nuisance really, no more. Your cranium rat though, brain vermin, what I go after, they're just trouble. When you get more than a handful of the little packers together, they start to get smart on you, sometimes real smart. They become more intelligent. Sure as I'm standing here before you, they do. If I run across more than 2 score of them, I'd flee from a case like that. He snaps to emphasise the point. I would. You get that many of them in a pack, why they start to get as smart as a man they do. Go on. Here's my best advice for you, Cutter. If you're bent on collecting brain vermin, stick to small packs. It does not sell at most. But I'll tell you, he steps close, his breath fetid in your face, and speaks in a hushed tone. You run into more than that, more than a couple dozen. You run like you're in the shadow of the lady. Backs away from you again. Why, what is there to fear? Sorcery, Cutter, sorcery. You get enough of those little things in space. They gain all sorts of odd powers. Makes a basher's brain pour out of his ears. Downright frightening. It's just wrong, I tell you. That's why it was so easy to be with. The bounty. The bounty? Someone pays for rat towels? Tell me more of this Lord fellow. His name's Phineas Lord. I think he was some sort of high up who was put down by his rivals and stuck here in the arse end of Sigil. The Burke sits there all alone, all night and day, it seems, waiting for folk to bring him towels and paying them bounty. You know the best part? Poor sod must be allergic to rats, because he's always got a huge rash going. No hope. Powers be prayed I ain't that fella. Oh, I had another question. What is that building right behind you? That's the office of vermin, yep. So my rat tails there for Jink and cook the little blighters and Zelda. I have another question. Can you tell me about Sigil? Sigil, the cage. What you're looking to know, Cutter. Why do you call it the cage? He shakes his head and laughs, causing the dead vermin pole to wriggle out. You see, Cutter, it's on account of all the doors. Some folk call Sigil the city of doors. Magical doors they are, and everywhere too. They lead everywhere, and I mean anywhere. But here's the trick of it. There is all locked, so it's more a cage than anything else. You can only come and go if you have the right key. Tell me of these doors and keys. The Ratcatcher appears quizzically at Morte that floats just beside you. Cut think you'd just ask him in for the dark like that he would. Morte seems taken aback as all the eyes fall on him. What? Get the impression that if he had lips, he'd be whistling innocently. Do you have an explanation, Morte? Well, I say we hear this man out. Yeah, Morte turns and stares hard at the Ratcatcher. No, let's hear what you have to say, Morte. Come on, Chief. Why would I hold out on you? I've told you everything useful. I know. Let's just get this Burke's take on the whole thing. Very well. The Ratcatcher, staring at you both in confusion, scratches his head, suddenly realises to focus your attention once more. He shakes off the puzzled expression and recomposes himself. Let him speak. Ehud, you want all sorts of chant, you do. Well, I'll give you the short of it. The cage is full of doors. These doors are everywhere, all throughout the city. Sigil, but you can't see them, not unless you have the right key. Each door has its own key, and each key is different. One key might be a real key, brass and all, but another could be, say, a crooked rat or a little jig that it does in front of the door. Once you have the right key, you step on through and go to wherever the door takes you. How would you know where a door leads? He frowns, mulling the answer over his head. Chances are, if you knew the key, you'd know where the door leads already. If you'd open one accidentally, say, you'd just have to be careful you would. You could try sticking your head through and taking a peek, but some doors just suck you right in. You could end up in all manner of foul places, Cut. Mark my words. How do you know what key opens the door? He shrugs, bobbing the rat pole and setting the crooked jangling about once more. You'd have to ask the right people. People who know the dark about that sort of thing, I suppose. See, some doors stay sealed and some move. It'd drive a blood balmy trying to keep track of all of them. I don't use the doors much myself, so I won't be much of help to you. Interesting, let me ask you about something else. Can you tell me about the hive? What's of interest here? I'm looking for work. Not much work in the hive really, most folks just busy themselves with getting food and staying alive. You could gather deaders like the collected, or you could hunt brain from a vermin for a bounty. We've done all that. Okay. Tell me about the hive. What's of interest here? Searching for a man named Farod. He looks a bit surprised. Farod, why'd a cut be looking for a man like that? It's a long story, I just need to find him. He's the head of a pack of collectors, he is. Moves all about at time, probably to avoid trouble. It's called someplace in Ragpicker Square, his case most likely. He's a crafty fellow, the Farod. A cutter best watch himself around that fellow. Where is this Ragpicker Square? I'll show you, Cutter. Just hand me your map. He points it out for you, leaving a large greasy fingerprint in the process. My thanks, I have no questions. I've missed in a journal. Have you seen one? Sorry, Cutter, I can't say I've seen one of those about. I had some other questions. I would like one of those racks you have there. Cutter, good, good. What sorts would you like? He points to each in turn with a grimy finger now. I've got them baked, spiced, boiled and charred. All fresh, all scrumptious, and only 3 coppers for 2. Yes, try them baked. You hand over the coppers in a swift motion. He runs a pair of baked rats through a wooden skewer, unhooks them, and places them in your hand. He winks at you. Enjoy, Cutter. Eat the rat's eat. The rat's flesh is tender and moist. It comes off the bone easily and melts in your mouth. It's slightly greasy and rather rich, tasting of some other sort of meat you're sure you've had before. The man looks at expectantly. Would you like another? Alright, I'll have another. Let's try the spiced rats. You hand over your corpse and in one swift motion he unhooks a pair of spice rats with a wooden skewer, unhooks them, places them in your hand. Winks at you. Enjoy cutter. Eat the rats. The rat meat is aromatic and quite spicy, apparently marinated with some sort of herbal mixture before being cooked. It is a bit greasy and rather rich, tasting of some other meat you're sure you've had before. The man looks at you expecting, would you like another? Alright, I'll have another. Okay. Let's try some boiled rat. You hand over your coppers and in one swift motion he runs a pair of boiled rats through with a wooden skewer, unhooks them and places them in your hands. He winks at you. Enjoy cutter. Eat the ratsy. The rat meat prepared this way is rather bland and rubbery. It tastes like some other meat you're sure you've had before. It certainly would taste better prepared in a different manner. You can't imagine why anyone would boil meat to eat it. The man looks at you expecting. Would you like another? Alright, I'll have another. Let's try charred. You hand over your coppers and in one swift motion he runs a pair of charred rats through with a wooden skewer, unhooks them and places them in your hand. He winks at you. Enjoy cut. Eat the ratsy. The rat is burnt and crispy outside but tender and juicy within. It is a bit greasy and rather rich, tasting of some other meat you're sure you've had before. The man looks at you expectantly. Would you like another? No 4 more for me, farewell.
Stupid yabbo.
Hey, be smart, Chief. Just look natural. Casual. Damn it. Conscious folly. Damn it.
All right. I'm gone.
Okay.
I'm gone.
Like, who have we got? Dangerous Alley, Marketplace, Hive Dwelling, and whatever's in there. Okay. Let's check out the dwellings first, I think.
All right.
Gelling Hydra eyeballs in Aspen. Give it a try. Delicious.
What do you have? No. It's about something to taste. What's the bread taste like? Never mind, farewell. Okay. No, I was passing by. Okay. Well met again, Carter. Have you come to buy the finest steel in Sydney? No, I had some questions. I've got a job to do, sir. Suddenly he turns his head and coughs into his hand. Excuse me, as I was saying, I can't stop selling just as be sick with you. Are you sick? Oh, ho, no, Carter, just old. Thank you for your concern, no. Razzie, take care, farewell. It's you that I need to. I haven't spoken to you. Seedy looking fellow is quick to spot you looking at him. Aye, Basher, get over here. Come and see what I got for you. He winks and waves you over. I had some questions. The man breaks in even before you can finish your sentence. You won't believe the deals I got for you today. You're a smart basher to come to me, you are. I won't cheat you like these piking bobbers. He motions to where the other merchants stand. Actually, I had some questions. He nods, but it's clear he's not listening. Yes, sir, just some damn good stuff I got here. Just look at it all, and you can believe these prices. You'd be practically stealing from me, you would. Listen to me. I have questions. Sure you do. Like, how's he offer such donking balmy deals? Or how's he such a corking spread of goods? Well, don't you worry about it, Basher. All you got to do is know that I got a little bit of everything. Well, except those limiting things. But who debates on each one of those? Ha! Heh. Heh heh. Fine, fine. What do you have to offer me? Your Diviver's concoctions. Cranium wraps. And some scrolls. Okay. So yeah, that's another merchant there. There's two merchants. We've got the blade merchant and
All right.
the potion merchant, the charm merchant. Let's go in here. See, hive dweller. You see a plump woman going about her chores. She doesn't notice you entering the room. Greetings. What are you doing in my house? Don't you have any manners? You don't just go around entering people's homes. I'm sorry, I didn't know anyone lived here. Well, now you know. Please leave now and close the door on your way out. I have many chores I still need to finish. I don't need any more interruptions. Goodbye. Farewell. So yeah, what have we got? Just you, let's see.
I'm gone.
Nothing like a bit of petty burglary. Where's that? Braskin's Kick.
All right.
See, Braskin. In a loud, booming voice, Braskin asks, "What in the name of Abyss are you doing in my house? Leave now before I make you even more ugly than you already are. Farewell." Okay.
Well, let's have a kiss then, eh?
You see a powerful man standing in the middle of the room. He is hunched over and doesn't look well. Greetings. I feel terrible. What happened? I'm not sure, but I think a bit of rest will do me good. Can you please leave me alone? Farewell.
Done.
that one down there.
Done.
Hive Dweller. See a woman with a worried look on her face. Greetings. I'm waiting for my husband to get back. He's been gone for a while now, and I'm getting worried. I'm sure he will be back soon. I'm sure you're right. I might look at the time. If you will excuse me, I have some work to finish up. Farewell.
All right.
Okay. Go and talk to Lords. Okay. The pan stinks of blood and dried rat. Okay, yeah,
I'm gone.
container is locked.
Forced it. Done.
Some rags, yeah, we'll take those.
Done.
Some more junk, okay. Phineas T. Lort the 39th. You see a squat man with a rash-covered skin and several pustules covering his face. His clothes seem to mark him as some sort of official, but they are dirty, wrinkled, and covered with rat hair. As you watch, he scratches idly himself with his stubby fingers. Greetings. Aye! The man shrieks and jumps, startled. Clutching his heart, he takes a deep breath and pushes his spectacles up his rat-ridden nose. Yes, yes. And what is it that you've caught? I can do for you? He scratches his nose and looks you up and down, studying your scars. I have little to nothing in the till, so if you come to plunder the premises, your locale is ill chosen. I'm not here to plunder the premises. Who are you? I am the respected Phineas T. Lort the 39th, in charge of this high branch of the Office of Vermin and Disease Control. It is my distinguished privilege, he scratches his chest and puffs up, to inform you that we, in the bureaucratic sense of the word we, meaning to encompass the sigil bureaucracy as a whole, are accepting bounties on all manner of vermin and strays that infest the, he scratches again, fair streets of Sigil, hub of the multiverse, and the city upon which sits at the centre of all things, the city by which all other cities are measured. Bounties?
Updated my journal.
Yes, yes, we, in the bureaucratic sense of the whole of the word, meaning to encompass the sigil bureaucracy as a whole, accepting tangible proof of the eradication of brain vermin, aka cranium rat, from the hive area where they've clustered quite thickly for the past many years. As a recent census of the vermin population has shown, I'm empowered by the sigillian bureaucracy to pay a bounty of, puffs up dramatically, 1 copper common per cranium rat delivered to my branch office. Cranium rats? Cranium rats are a species of vermin that becomes more intelligent the more of them in close proximity to one another. One cranium rat alone is a nuisance, but a nuisance that chews at boards and burrows into foods, but 5, 10 or more, and their intelligence grows until it surpasses even the intelligence of one such as myself. He scratches and sniffs disdainfully. I imagine that 2 or 3 cranium rats might be enough to outwit you, sir. Another comment like that and you'll be wearing your arse as a hat. Phineas blinks. Your appearance seemed to sink in the last. I withdraw my most inappropriate comment, especially in light of your recent assertion of dominance and physical superiority in a social situation. How many cranium rats are in Sigil? More than enough to last a bounty hunter a lifetime, perhaps several. I had some other questions. Who are you? Yeah, bounties, cranium rat. Tell me more about cranium rats. The more of them in proximity, the more formidable they become. Some gain the ability to cast magical spells. They can resist magical effects held at them, and they can employ some cunning tactics. Push his spectacles up on his nose. As you understand, we are anxious to reduce their numbers in Siege. I have some other questions. How did someone as illustrious as you end up in such a place? Well, it's quite an epic tale. You see, I was born here in Sigil. It's so long, we've rested for 8 hours. Okay. Some questions. Is that rash of yours contagious? My rash? Contagious? No. Well, at least I don't think so. It's a symptom of the position, I'm afraid. The job literally grows on you. He scratches himself again. I had some questions. No questions, farewell. Okay, so... It's 5 AM in the morning. Let's look at and read the journal. Anything new? No, I don't think so. Lim. These innocuous insects appear to be little more than giant fleas. However, they can be trained and seem loyal to their owners. How far that loyalty extends is worth investigating. Small folk, yeah. Yeah, okay. Quest, what have we got? Find a tombstone for the choir of Ezanon. I encountered a wandering monk in the Hive who was mourning a city destroyed by Ezanon. Apparently he is one of the last citizens of that city, and he now travels the plains attempting to keep the memory of the city alive. To free him from this task, I suggested the use of a tombstone, and offered to go find a tombstone on which to carve the name of Ezanon. When I find one, I'll carve the name, then return. Yep. Okay. Jedi. When I delivered Craddock the message from Vane, he got hangry. Apparently Craddock's missing one of his workers, a toffling drunkard by the name of Jedi. He said he's most likely stumbling around on the street outside the Smouldering Corpse bar. I said I'd go and see if I could find him and then come back and let Craddock know. Okay. Nurok, a dustman in the Gathering Dust bar, bade me track down a thief disguised as a dustman and stop him from further soiling the factor's name with his actions. Remove Weakling's curse of stench. I met a man named Weakwind who has been cursed with perpetually excrete foul body odours from every orifice. Perhaps I could find a way to help him. He said he was cursed by some fat baldy man who favours dressing in orange. The cursed spitter probably lives in one of the upper wards where Weakwind used to live. Okay. It's a journal. Okay, I met a diseased storyteller in the Hive, a foul-smelling man by the name of Weakwind. When I spoke to him, he warned me of the danger of names, saying that when you carry a name, it somehow allows you to be tracked, seen, hunted. For some reason, that thought chilled me. Is that why I'm nameless? Weakwind told me that he wasn't always the smelly wreck he's become. Apparently he crossed paths with someone who didn't take kindly to him and was cursed as a result. Apparently, because the curse thrower knew Weakwind's real name, he was able to make the curse stick, and Weakwind has been suffering ever since. Judging from Weakwind's description, the curse thrower was some fat, baldy man who had the look of a pumpkin about him, which presumably means he favours dressing in orange. It's probably in one of the upper wards where Weakwind once lived. Weakwind told me a story of the Alley of Dangerous Angles, the alleyway near where he set up Kip. He told me it used to be a street, but a great fire raged through it one night, setting the buildings and people aflame, leaving just the skeletal frames of their houses and their residents. The broken timbers of the old burnt buildings are what gave the alley its name. Apparently several groups of thugs now have taken up residence there. Weakwind told me a story of Ignis, a mad sorcerer who was responsible for creating the Alley of Dangerous Angles. He said that Ignis was a powerful sorcerer who had been taught by one of the last of the great magi. Ignis burned with the art, so much so it drove him to burning people and buildings when the urge struck him. One night he unleashed his power on one of the streets in the Hive, burning it down and torching the residents. Whether out of revenge or justice, several minor mages in the hive banded together and used their combined knowing of the art to turn Ignis's body into a conduit to the elemental plane of power. They hoped the pain would kill him. It didn't. Apparently it just caused Ignis to enter a deep sleep. Rickwin told me a story of Farad. Apparently Farad was one of a non-member of the aristocracy in Sigil, but he used his position to bend laws, cheat others, and even condemn innocent men. His acts were so deceitful that it damned his soul to the lower planes when he died. When he learned of this, he became afraid and apparently looked for a way to dodge his fate. Apparently he consulted several seers and was told that he would find a means of saving himself in the trash of Sigil. Farad cast off his position of respect and became a collector king, sending his hive gang to scour the Sigil streets in search of something that would set his soul free, but he knows not what it is. Craddock is missing one of his workers, a drunken by the name of Jelly. He said he's most likely wandering around on the street outside the Smouldering Corpse bar. I met a crier of Eshanon on the street of the Hive. According to him, Eshanon was a city that had been destroyed long ago, and he and the remaining survivors now travel the plains, crying of the city to all who would listen. It is their wish that Eshanon be remembered. I agreed to go find a tombstone on which to carve the name of Eshanon for the crier. I spoke with a vermin control inspector in the Hive, Phineas T. Lord, who said he was paying bounties on all cranium rat tails delivered to his office at a rate of 1 copper per towel. I suppose a little copper is better than none at all. Maybe if I bring enough rat tails to him I can squeeze him for a better rate. Perhaps. That's us done. So, yeah, we got... Let's go back and see what we got to do on our quests. We can do that one. We can do that one. We can probably do that one now, and we can probably go back to the Dustman Bar as well. Okay.
All right. I'm gone.
So I'm going to do it all in this episode.
All right.
But actually we've got a lot to do, so I'm going to actually leave it here and we'll do it all in the next episode. So yeah, this has been Vane doing Let's Play Planescape Torment. If you like what you see in here, be sure to like, subscribe, share and comment. Please consider sponsoring me on Patreon, and until next time, goodbye.